for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up guys, Venom Fire here, back to the video, and today we bring you guys another defense video. This one's going to be man coverage, and it's what I think might be the best man coverage defense in the game. It's going to be out of a little bit of a unique formation, one that's pretty good but not used a whole lot, and I think you guys should definitely give it a try if you have not already. So we're going to be in the 4-6 defensive playbook, and we're going to be running the 4-6 normal formation. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 13,000 subscribers. We're almost there, so hit that sub button if you are new and you are enjoying the content. Again, all this is brought to you for free and is the best way to show support, so hit that sub button. But yeah, let's move on. We're going to adjust our coaching adjustments here, and we're going to set our curl flats to 20 yards. Again, 20 yards. You can go up to 25 if you like. I'm definitely more of a 20-yard zone drop guy myself. Yeah, like I mentioned, 4-6 playbook, 4-6 normal. One thing you're going to do is go to packages and you're going to flick your right stick to the right once, put it in the speed package. What that 4-6 speed package does is you see we get a cornerback at actually linebacker. Now, this is a very important reason to why the formation is so good, because a lot of times this player right here is going to be the one that's manned up to their tight end a lot. Tight ends are probably the second most targeted player on anybody's team. And they really can torch even safeties. So no matter how fast your safety is, they'll usually get torched by a tight end. So having a corner there can definitely help. We're using the Saints, so we obviously don't have a 99 corner, but in Ultimate Team you get like up to a 95 overall corner. You see our strong safety is going to be right here, and our free safety up top. And then you do have a linebacker. So here's the spot. Here's a little small weak issue with the defense, is that you can't get a safety at this other linebacker spot, but it's not too big of an issue because this guy you're never really going to be using anyway in the man coverage scheme. He'll be in zone coverage most of the time, so you can get someone fast. But yeah, let's hop into the play. The play we're running, cover one hole, just come out in it. And I got 3-4 different variations of the man coverage. We'll just start out in this little strong flood play, because it pretty much is a popular route combo. You see strong flood right there. So let's come out in it. First things first, with any man coverage, what I like to do is just go ahead and press. I'm just going to press. Usually I'm going to shade over the top as well, just like this. Just shading over the top is going to prevent you from getting burnt, especially in man coverage. Out of this strong flood play in particular, they have this kind of weird fade route on the right that usually would burn a man coverage. So shading over the top is going to pretty much prevent that from happening. Moving on, like I mentioned, since we adjust our zone drops, we're going to be using those curl flat zones. Now, in deciding which side to put your curl flats on, I probably should have subbed out Cam Jordan to the other side, but it is fine. I'm going to throw our 3-rec hook for this first setup in that curl flat, and then I'm going to throw the opposite side D end in the curl flat as well. So it's going to look like this. Again, for this first setup, we're going to be rushing 3, and I know a guy like Cam Jordan is not too athletic, so if you can get someone who is a little bit more athletic, you can even put a Montez Sweat type player on the D-line. I think you can put outside linebackers there as well, so you can get a lot more versatility. I forgot to do that, but even a guy like Cam Jordan is decent in coverage, so that is it. If I wanted to, I could also like slant outside just to get a little bit better sheds, but here's a look at our coverage. Put your user on a blitz, and again, you're going to user that top safety. So we'll just call the play. Boom, like this. You see pretty much everything is defended really well here. They throw it, and nothing really opens. So again, this is just the basic way of running man coverage. Obviously, since we're running the cover one hole, we're going to try and use that 3-rec hook a little bit later in the video. We got some 2-man rush setups, which is pretty much the meta right now on defense. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, you're probably facing send to defenses more and more as the year goes on. But again, you're going to press, you're going to shade over the top, you're going to throw this Y linebacker in a curl flat, you're going to throw your BD lineman in a curl flat as well, just depending on what side they are on. Usually it'll be better if your D lineman's going to that short side, so if I was on the right hash, it would be a little bit better. But again, it still does work, and it'll defend crossers, things like that, very effectively. Again, it's a pretty simple setup. Just put those 2 players in zones, press, and shade over the top. Again, user this free safety here, and we will go. Here I'm going to block my running back. So you see, when you block your running back, your man coverage player is going to rush as well. So that's going to give you an extra block or an extra rusher. That's almost the reason why you can actually rush to initially, because if they end up blocking their running back, you're going to get a third rusher regardless. So it's not too big of an issue, especially out of man coverage concepts. It's a little bit easier for me to send two rather than zone, because I know that I can get that little delayed rusher or even QB spy type player. So again, one more time with this first setup: press straight over the top, throw Y in a curl flat, throw B in a curl flat, and then you can slant outside just like this. We'll snap the ball, boom. I can lurk over with RB, but you see RB is covered pretty well. I'm sure you also see that the strong safety is the one who's made up on RB, Malcolm Jenkins. And since we said we didn't necessarily want safeties, I believe we can put a cornerback at that spot. But if not, some safeties from the slot is better than on that tight end, I believe. But I'm pretty sure you can get a cornerback at that strong safety spot. So you can sub him out if you want. If not, you can use the safety. So you can pretty much get just one safety back there, and then almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cornerbacks. So 6 DB formation, you can get 5 corners, 1 safety. Definitely solid. So let's hop into some other options. Like I said, we can go with this little 2-man rush setup, and what we're going to use is that 3-rec hook zone, because this zone is really good, almost the best in the game. So if I wanted to leave that, I would basically set up the same defense, but all I would do is just send both of my defensive ends in just those curl flat zones. Now, I actually kind of like the D linemen in those curl flats, just because they're kind of like bait you into throwing a crosser, because you're not going to expect the D linemen to run all the way back. And especially for how long they kind of develop, usually they should get back in time, and you can a lot of times bait them into throwing an interception. So here would be my coverage look. You see it's going to be sending 2, but if they were to block their running back, I believe that guy in man coverage is going to rush, which he does, so he's going to end up rushing that edge. I know since it is a cornerback, it's not going to be as good, but heck, you just saw PJ Williams instant shed Trent Williams, so I mean, it's Madden, so it's not that big of a deal, and with the logic, anybody can shed anybody at any given time. So again, that setup was pressed, straight over the top, X in a curl flat, and B in a curl flat. Boom, and yeah, it's pretty much it. Very simple setup. I'm sure you guys saw that 3-rec hook putting in some work. Here we'll send the running back out, and you see the 3-rec hooks. He's going to lurk on that in route, so I can lurk the running back. That was a terrible user, but our 3-rec hook actually ends up playing both routes, so it's a really, really good zone. You see the reason that a lot of people will go with just simple cover 1 shells rather than a cover 2 man or a 2-man under. The reason is that 3-rec hook just gives you a ton of versatility in the defense. So again, that was the setup. Also, if I wanted to, let's say he's killing me with crossers, somehow that maybe he throws his tight end on a crosser and it's getting over the top of my D lineman. So if I were to go with a route combo like this, whatever, maybe let's just set up something like this. So maybe that crosser is getting over the top and Marcus Davenport from the D line cannot get over in time. What I would do, I would set it up again the same way, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw Y in a curl flat, and then I'm going to actually throw X in a bluff blitz. So it's going to look like this. I will still keep Cam Jordan here in a curl flat, but this would be my coverage. I'm really not expecting, out of this particular formation, a crosser from left to right as much, so that's not too big of a worry for me. We have man coverage on those receivers on the right, so again, what I would do is I would put this linebacker here in our curl flat just to get over there, and you will see he's probably going to play the crosser a lot better than the D lineman would, and then you can still get your 3-rec hook just out of that bluff blitz, and he will still pretty much play the exact same. Obviously, he's a little bit worse in coverage because he's a D lineman, but you see he's going to lurk down on that drag. The crosser looked to be defended pretty well, and we end up getting that sack. And again, you see I'm just sending 2 against these 6-man protections. I believe that was a 6-man protection. We're getting relatively good pressure. Again, the key in man coverage when you send 2 is that extra guy that's man up on the running back will usually rush the passer, basically turning into 3. And when you have your user on a blitz as well, it basically registers the AI that it's a 4-man rush. So I'm not sure if that changes anything, but that's how the AI reads it, and that's how it's coded. So one more time with that adjustment, you throw B in a curl flat, you throw X in a bluff blitz, you throw this Y linebacker in a curl flat. So again, very similar concepts between the 3 setups, but you're just changing 1, 2 adjustments. Something like that would throw your opponent off, I believe. You snap the ball, boom. Look at X, the D lineman, Davenport. That's not exactly the most athletic guy in the pass defense, but he's able to follow that in route really, really well. He's almost running the route for him. So Imagine if you get a Montez Sweat 90 speed. I believe Marcus Davenport actually has a really good card in MUT. I haven't been playing MUT a whole lot, but I do think he has a good card. There's a lot of other players you can get, especially when you consider the outside linebacker position that you can put there. So a lot more versatility. I'll show that last setup one more time. We threw X in a bluff blitz. Obviously, I could do it kind of vice versa, but it would depend on the formation, because you would have to throw Cam Jordan in the bluff blitz like this, and then you would probably want to throw curl flat on the right. So let's say I wanted to completely bluff blitz my opponent. Maybe I throw the safety in a curl flat, and then I throw the other D lineman in a curl flat, just like this. And then I'm going to use the linebacker, so just throwing him off, something like this could have success. It's really about confusing your opponent, but you're keeping kind of the same adjustments in doing so. You see everything's really defended well, but right now we don't get coverage. This will happen sometimes, occasionally. But you saw we've been rushing 2 for a while, and we have got good pressure. Geez, finally get pressure, but every once in a while you will have plays like that. Obviously, we're rushing 2 lower overall D linemen, so an ultimate team, your 95 overalls will help. But yeah, you saw majority of the video I was running those 2-man rushes, and we were getting really good pressure. Even when that third guy goes, it was a 6-man protection, and we were getting pretty good pressure. So it does work. Trust me on that one. That's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and peace. I'm out of here.